let's talk about why foreigners usually choose Thailand and Philippines over Malaysia. There's a bunch of reasons for sure, but I want to go over the reasons that I think. Because everyone's going to have different reasons. Everyone has their own reasons for choosing to either live somewhere or to go on holiday somewhere. So this is for expats. This is talking about expats and people going on holiday. I mean, Thailand is just exponentially more popular of a travel destination and an expat destination. And Philippines too. Hello. I haven't been to the Philippines, but I know a bit about it, and it's similar in reasons that people go there as Thailand. Now, reason number one, it's a big one. I'd say Malaysia is predominantly a Muslim country, and Westerners especially are not Muslim, and oftentimes did not grow up around many Muslims, did not spend time around Muslim people. And so they don't really have a good idea of any of it. A clear understanding of the religion, or even how we'll be treated as non-Muslims in this country. And I think there's misconceptions that maybe we won't be treated right, maybe we won't be treated equal, maybe there will be, I don't know, some hostility towards us because we're Christian or Catholic or whatever it is. I think that's one of the biggest reasons. I think it's a huge reason. I know that before I ever came here, it definitely made me uncertain. It made me a little bit unsure. Of course, there are a good amount of Muslims in New York City, but it's not like I grew up surrounded by it. And it's just not the norm in America. So yeah, I wasn't sure coming over here, you know, how is it going to feel? How is that going to play out in my day-to-day life? And the reality is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know, the only thing that you're really going to feel at all from it is you're going to hear a loudspeaker with some, you know, prayer or wake-up call or stuff like that. And you're going to see people wearing hijabs, and you're going to see mosques around, which are beautiful. But otherwise, it's not going to affect your life. It will never affect your life. It will never affect the way that you're treated here. That's my experience, and I think that will pretty much go for everyone. Of course, if you're anti-Islam or something and you're going around preaching that, then, you know, people aren't going to like you. You're going to have some problems. I think otherwise, probably not going to have many issues. I mean, I get a lot of weird comments, like a lot of comments asking me if I'm Jewish. Every single video, I get comments asking me if I'm Jewish. I'm not, but I don't really know what people are asking that for. I don't know if they're asking it in a hateful way or something. I don't really know. So, but you know, as a Catholic, Christian, whatever, ex-Catholic person, I don't know. I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, the Muslim thing, it doesn't matter at all. Truly. You're going to have people trying to convert you to Islam occasionally. Like maybe if you're in my position doing YouTube videos, yeah, people will put it out there that you should potentially convert to Islam. But I mean, that's your choice. Still, again, it doesn't affect your daily life. It doesn't affect your holiday in any way. Yeah, that's that. I think another big reason, especially considering a lot of travelers are men, a lot of Westerners who are traveling are men, or who are moving overseas by themselves is mostly men. So another reason would be women, of course. You know, Thailand is well known for having a huge red light district in a lot of the country. You know, in every part of the country, you can find red light district activity, and it's pretty accepted. You know, it's not legal, but it's accepted. And so there is a portion of men who will travel for that, or who will move there for that. And even though you could find that here if you wanted, it's not the same. It's not known for that. and you think of Malaysia as being a wholesome place, and so people don't come here for that. But the other side of it is even the non-red light district side of it. Just Thai women in general, Filipino women as well. It's just a whole different thing how they feel about foreigners, the way that they grow up, thinking about like white men specifically is very different than the way Malaysians think about us. It may or may not be a healthy thing, even like the way they think about it, like putting us on a pedestal, treating us exceptionally well just because of our race or because where we're from, equating us with having money. Yeah, that's a real thing in Thailand and in the Philippines. So much so that a lot of guys, I think, go there and, especially guys who never had attention in their life, who can't really get women back home because they, for one reason or another, start to get attention, and I think they fall for that attention. A lot of guys end up getting scammed. They end up getting taken for everything they have from some of these women. It's like very common, and that's not happening here in the same way. Of course, it can still happen, but it's not like something that is super common. It's just not. So that's a huge reason that people are going there to begin with. Now, I'm not saying that's all it has. I absolutely love Thailand. I spent a lot of time there. I don't engage with red light district activity. Of course, I love women. I like the fact that I can date there either casually or long term, and it's easier to have casual dates. It's easier to just go out to dinner with a girl and things kind of feel easy and easygoing. There's not tension like asking a girl out. It doesn't feel like an anxious thing. Here it feels a little bit more, there's anxiety behind it. At least for me, and I think I could speak for a lot of people in that regard. It's just not the same thing. And for better or worse, I'm not saying one way or the other, it's just how things are. So yeah, a lot of people even go to the Philippines and Thailand to find a wife, find their long-term match. It's just how it goes. The one weird thing that happens there very regularly is like older men getting together with like young women, girls. I mean, it's weird. To me, that's weird. Too frequently, I would say, you see 50, 60 plus year old men with 20-year-old girls holding hands walking down the street. And it's really weird. It's super weird. It's not like, to me, that's not really that normal. Now, I'm only 32 years old, so I don't know, maybe it will feel less weird when I'm older, but I don't think so. I think it's more about, it just doesn't feel, it just feels weird. When the age gap is too much, it's not natural to see, and there's a reason that it turns heads, and there's a reason that people talk about it. I'm not here to be like some moral, not here to whatever, be some high moral guy or something like that, but just saying, that's never going to happen here. You are not going to see a 65-year-old white man walking down the street with a 20-year-old Malaysian girl holding hands. It's not going to happen. And I think that's better. But otherwise, I have no problem with people going somewhere like Thailand to find a woman, their wife, or to engage in any type of activity with women. Do what you will. If that goes on somewhere, go ahead. Enjoy, whatever. But it definitely creates a different feeling in the city, in the place, in the country. than somewhere like here, where it feels very wholesome and it feels, yeah, it just doesn't feel like that. So that's a huge reason why people are going to Thailand and Philippines and not Malaysia. I think another big reason, number 3, would be the cost of living, the cost of food, cost of everything can be a bit lower in Thailand, especially the food. You know, you can get street food $1.50 for a good portion very easily, which is, it's not really possible here in the same way. And that's like a huge draw for a certain type of person who, especially people who are like retiring and they have a pension, or, you know, they get some type of monthly amount of money from the government or whoever. They are the types who are looking for somewhere to go, live out their life, and spend as little money as possible. And so they look for, how much am I going to be spending every day on food, and how much am I going to be spending on rent every day, every month. And Thailand and the Philippines typically are a better option for that, especially Thailand. I mean, the Philippines can be a little bit expensive. People talk about the Philippines being very cheap. I have no idea. I'm just trying to walk and talk right now, but I'm finding it very difficult to just have a walking path. Anyways, yeah, the cost of living is less in Thailand, in my experience. Now, I sometimes end up spending more money in Thailand because I will end up going out, or I'll buy weed, you know, things that I'm not doing here that end up making my expenses more. But if I live the same life in Thailand as I live here, it's cheaper. You know, you get more for your money. Yeah, the condo is cheaper and the food is cheaper. But it's not that much different. I'm going to be completely honest here. It's not that much different. You can also live here, even in Kuala Lumpur, for very similar price, maybe 10% more than Thailand. You just have to be careful about the food that you're eating. You know, you're going to have to be a little bit more cautious where you're going to eat. You can't just go get everything you want. You know, you can't just go get lamb shank and fish, stuff like that. You know, it's not going to fly. You're going to spend a lot more money. But yeah, somewhere like the Philippines, I mean, if you go to Manila, I know it's expensive for what you get. Everybody says how expensive it is for what you get. You know, I even have looked into like traveling there, and it's outrageous what you get for the money in Manila. So there are parts of the Philippines that are much cheaper. But I'm almost comparing between like Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, and Manila, because they're the closest things to each other. They're the most similar to each other. Again, I've not been to Manila, but I've researched, I hear about it. I've considered traveling there, and I plan to travel there. But yeah, it's definitely cheaper, but depends on your lifestyle. You know, if you're a drinker, I think no matter what, you're going to spend money. I think alcohol is a bit pricey here in Malaysia, so you're going to spend more money if you drink a lot and you live here. I don't drink any alcohol, so that's why it's closer in price for me, Malaysia and Thailand. It's not much different because I don't drink. I really don't drink at all. So yeah, cost of living, it's huge for people. Even on holiday, it's like people think about, oh, I can take a holiday to Thailand super cheap, very cheap. And, you know, I can book a 1-week hotel for, you know, whatever it is, $10 a night. And here it's a little bit harder to find that unless you like go super budget, unless you go hostel or like a kind of dinky room that's not great. Yeah, but again, it's not that much different. In my experience, it's not much different if you don't drink alcohol. Reason number 4 would be specific to Thailand, and that would be the now legal cannabis industry, getting marijuana, being able to use marijuana in the country with no problems. You know, this is a pretty new thing. You know, typically across Asia, it's not tolerated. It's very prohibited. You know, you don't really want to do it. You take a massive risk if you do it. And so Thailand is the first place in Asia that you can actually go down the street and there's 10 shops where you can buy cannabis. Who knows if those laws will end up changing in the next year or so, how they're gonna maneuver it, because things got a little bit out of hand with it. But I think it's a big thing for a lot of people who are very free-spirited, very want to not worry, want to go and just relax. I think people will choose Thailand for that reason. I use marijuana when I'm in Thailand on a regular basis because it's allowed, and I grew up in the US and it's also allowed. It's legal everywhere. And I think a lot of people are similar, even though I'd say it's a small percentage of total tourists or total expats that even use it. It's a small percentage, you know. I think it's 10% or less, you know, where I think alcohol is probably 75% or more. So it's still not super common, but the people who really like it, the people who either they use it medicinally or just enjoy it recreationally, yeah, that's a big factor. It's a big factor even for me. But it's not enough of a factor for me to choose Thailand over Malaysia. It's not like something that will sway my decision that much because it's so close to Malaysia. It's so easy to get there. Personally, it creates a good balance for me, not having it on a daily basis, not having it on any regular basis, and having these harsh punishments. Like, I'm not even going to think about using it here. And I can easily go to Thailand for 1 week and enjoy myself, relax, smoke a bit, no problem. Come back to Malaysia and live a bit more productive and not have to manage my smoking, how much I'm smoking or any of this. For me, it works a bit better when I don't have the access to it. It's just the truth, you know, it's just the truth. But I think most people who like it are going to choose the country that allows it. Now, I think it's been about a year since this is in effect. And the Philippines, it's not like that. The Philippines, it's just as illegal as it is here. Same in every other Asian country, you know, it's completely prohibited. But yeah, that will sway some people. That will sway some people's decision for sure. And I think the weed thing is a perfect, almost just fell. I think it's a perfect example of the strictness that you might feel here, or some Westerners might think about Malaysia. They might have this idea that it's too strict. And likewise, they have the idea that Thailand and the Philippines is a very free place. It's more relaxed, or the people are more relaxed. That is the thought process of a lot of folks. And so a lot of Westerners are just used to having some sense of freedom, a big sense of freedom, and wanting to keep that freedom, and being a little uncertain about how coming somewhere like Malaysia might impact their freedom and how it might feel in terms of rules. And yeah, you know, I don't really feel that now that I'm here. You know, sure, there are more rules. It feels a little more strict. You know, the roads are not so chaotic. There are a lot more rules on the road. You know, in Thailand and Philippines, you can rent a motorbike without having a license and just drive, and you're not really going to get in any trouble. You'll never get in trouble. The worst thing that will happen is you have to pay a small fine, small bribe. Probably similar here. You know, you're probably not going to go to jail if you do that here. You're probably going to pay a bribe as well. But there are more rules around it. It's a little harder to rent a bike. You know, there's not motorbike taxis everywhere. You know, you go to Thailand, you can get on the back of a motorbike in 10 seconds and be driving on the sidewalk, you know, to your destination. So it's very lawless feeling there. That translates to freedom, a free feeling, which I do enjoy. I enjoy that eccentric, crazy, wild feeling that Thailand brings. It's cool. It's interesting to me. it doesn't mean that that is like better or worse. You know, again, I don't actually think one country is better than another in any way. You know, it's down to preference, what best suits you for daily life, or what best suits you for your holiday. And that's it. That's it. There shouldn't be any discrimination against another country in that way. There's not any need for it. You know, this is kind of just a lighthearted discussion about, you know, why people might choose one place over another. I don't think one place is better than any other. I really don't. Even Malaysia, who knows? Maybe in a couple months, maybe I will be a little bit bored, and maybe I'll want to go to the Philippines for a few months and see how that feels. You know, who knows? Who knows? But for now, you know, I like it here. I like the lifestyle. Keeps me healthy, keeps me productive. You know, the YouTube goes well. Hey, it works really well for me. It's great. Somebody else, maybe they have reasons, you know, something is a turnoff for them. Who knows, right? Who knows? So let me know down in the comments, please. Why do you think that Thailand is such a more popular destination than Malaysia? And and Philippines as well? I'd love to hear it. You know, I think some people might disagree with me about some of this, but this is just my thought process. It's me trying to formulate why is Thailand so damn popular? And Malaysia is sort of just this underrated place that you see far less expats. You see far less, you know, Westerners on holiday than Thailand and Philippines. Why? I think the reasons I gave are probably most of it, right? But I'm sure there are more reasons. So I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear if you agree with what I'm saying as well. Drop a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure you're subscribed. I'm doing videos every single day. And I will see you in tomorrow's vlog.